Hi there, viewers. Today I'm joining a conversation with author Odalys Munoz, the author of A War's Nightmare. It's a pleasure to have Dali featured on P English Literature. Welcome on the show, Dali.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to finally have you here today. I'm excited to host you on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Dali, could you tell us about your book, A Worst Nightmare? How does this book come about? What inspired you to write A Worst Nightmare?
My worst nightmare is I started writing this book because it's about, I always been interested in crime dramas and I found it interesting and I listened to audiobooks and about drama. So I always liked that genre. So that's why I started writing that book.
Wow, that's quite amazing to know. That's quite great. And I also want to ask you, Dali, for readers who haven't read the book like me, who haven't read A Worst Nightmare before, without giving much information away, could we have a sneak of what we'd expect picking up A Worst Nightmare?
Odalys Munoz is a thrilling crime fiction novel that gets you on your feet for every chapter you read. It's basically about an 18-year-old psychology major student at Harvard who is finding her friend Nicole who went missing, and she tries to find her friend before something happens to Nicole.
Wow, that's quite great to know. That's quite amazing to know. Now, I want to ask you, Dali, as authors, we all have different ways of reacting to feedbacks and criticism of our works. Just want to know your opinion about criticism. How would you react to a negative criticism of your book if you ever come across one?
I'm always open to feedback.
Mm.
Um, and negative feedback is I will try to improve when I write the next one. And I will take the negative feedback and try to make my next book better.
Mm. That's quite amazing to know. That's quite amazing to know. I'm also curious, Dali, I'm curious to know if you experienced any challenges while writing your book. If there is any, could you share with us what challenge it is and how you ultimately overcame it?
I have challenges with thinking about how to make it interesting. Um, but I realized that I just have to write and the ideas will come to me.
Mm.
So I just wait and see what happens. Basically.
I love that. I love the fact that you mentioned that you have to write and that your audience will come to you. I love that word.
Thank you.
Yeah. I also want to ask you, Dali, apart from Our Worst Nightmare, which I checked on Amazon, and from the description of what I found on Amazon, it sounds quite lovely and quite interesting to me. I want to ask you, apart from this particular book, Our Worst Nightmare, do you have any other works you've authored or currently working on?
I published in the past, once upon a time, Vampire Caregiver and His Obsession.
Hmm.
And they are all available on Amazon.
I left a link actually in the description part of this conversation for viewers who would love to check out Dalik's works directly on Amazon where you can get a copy. Now, I just want to ask you, Dali, could you tell us what publishing is like for a published author like yourself? What are the challenges you've encountered in terms of marketing your books? And what are the mediums you've utilized so far in promoting Awards Nightmare?
Promotion, publishing, first of all, is easy and free for me because I go through an Amazon company called KD as in dog, P as in Paul, and the website is called KDP, and it's free. It's from Amazon, and it's a self-publishing company.
Mm.
The promotion is hard because I can never find ways to promote my book, which is why I'm so grateful to be on your show.
Mm.
But it's hard to find people who will promote or help me promote the book.
I'd love to ask what genre of literature is your book in? What genre is it particularly?
Crime and thrillers.
Great. Now, I want to urge the audience, if you have people over there who are watching this interview who are fan of crime thrillers, I'm pretty sure you're going to love Dali's book. I want to urge you to consider picking, to check out her works, her talent, and support her to the best of your ability. That would be much appreciated. And Dali, I would love your advice. As a published author, what sort of advice do you have for other writers who are still struggling with publishing a book? What would you tell people in this category?
Never give up. And if you truly want to make this your job, you anything is possible, and anyone is capable of writing. I personally never thought I would be a writer, but I started this to help my family, and I just found out that I liked it. So if you like something, go for it.
Hmm, that's great. I love your advice to this. I'm pretty sure that viewers, including myself, will love to utilize it. Now, Dali, where can viewers get a copy of your book in case we have people who are interested in getting a copy? On what platform is it available on for purchase?
It's available on Amazon by searching for Worst Nightmare. Um, and also, I do have a website. It is called odalysmunoz.com or also odalysmunoz.com. Um, I do have a book website. If you give me 1 minute, I can look it up for you.
That's great. And I've left a link in the description part of this conversation to a link where viewers can get a copy of Dali Munoz's book directly on Amazon. Shortly before we call it a day, Dali, I read in the description part of your book on Amazon of about your auto bio, and I read some striking experiences there of you having an accident while very young. So I wouldn't know if it's something you'd love to talk about, just so the viewers can have an idea. Would you love to talk about that?
Um, sure. I, my mom and I had a car accident when I was 2 months old, and I've been on a ventilator ever since. Um, I also want to share, just so people know, that I technically died, but after my father prayed for me, um, I came back. I came back. So I was technically dead for a few seconds. And I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be alive. And I want to be an inspiration for people like me and for others to show that everything is possible if you want it bad enough.
Wow. I hope you're doing fine now, right?
I'm on a ventilator and I will never get off of it. But I'm alive and I'm grateful to be alive.
Well, I'm impressed actually with your story, and even the fact that despite this, you went ahead to be an author. That's quite a lot to learn, you know. That's quite a big urge of motivation. And I'm very thankful to God for keeping you and sparing your life despite all that happened. So thank you so much, Dali. It's quite lovely to have this conversation with you. And I've left a link once again in the description part of this conversation where viewers can get a copy of your book. Also, this just come to my mind, Dali. Would you love to write a memoir? Do you have that in mind, something like that?
I'm always open to possibilities. I would like to, but I don't know how. I'm
Oh,
more I'm more into the fiction, but if my mother would help me, or if someone else would help me, I am more than willing to do it.
wow. That's great. That's great. I think that'll be very great and quite lovely for you to do. So thank you so much, Dali, for accepting the invitation to be featured on P English today. It's fantastic and very wholesome to have this conversation with you and to have you on board. I'm excited to
Thank
speak with
you.
you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's my huge pleasure.